Hello friends, today's topic for discussion is Introduction to Mobile Middleware. So, what is a mobile middleware? The term mobile is very well known to all of you. So, we will discuss middleware. What do you mean by middleware? So, it is a software that supports mediation between other software components, fostering interoperability between those components across heterogeneous platforms and varying resource levels. For example, middleware can serve as a plumbing and allowing applications that do not normally support disconnected operations to do so through clever use of data hoarding. Ideally, beyond bridging heterogeneous systems, middleware should be transparent, robust, efficient, secure, and should be based on open standards. All of these requirements supports the goal of making software development in association with middleware easier than from scratch. So, we will be discussing next is adaptation, which is a general concept and is arguably mandatory, which allows applications to offer reasonable performance to all the users across disparate different environments. The mobile agents are a special type of adaptive middleware which extends the reach of data servers and help mobile devices to change configuration quickly and easily depending on the available services. The emphasis is made on the fundamental design issues, which includes the choices of communication strategies, trade-offs between application levels and operating system level supports and security. Current and historical systems are surveyed to learn which decisions were made in the design and why this type of understanding is viewed throughout as more important than learning all the nuances of a particular system. So next we will discussing adaptation. Many enthusiastic mobile users their belts hanging low with personal digital assistants or a PDA, cellular phones and other portable devices which are the next mobile technology, or whether it can be a new wireless networking interface or faster mobile processor. Finally, we'll narrow the gap between the mobile devices and traditional wired devices. The gap never really narrows. The hunger for computing resources is insatiable and new applications always appears. The new desktop computer having the newest PDA, therefore mobile applications must fight to make the computing experience of the users tolerable. To make that gap seem not quite so wide, to that end, mobile applications must adapt their behaviors and expectations to conserve scarce resources and to adjust quality of service. To that end, mobile applications must adapt their behaviors and expectations to conserve scarce resources and to adjust quality of service, which is essentially a guarantee of performance to all the sustainable levels. For example, a mobile user is likely to be more tolerant of a lower quality audio stream than a high quality streams, which constantly pops owing to the inadequate bandwidth. Similarly, a sequence of still frames probably is more desirable than a highly pixelated video stream which never resolves a clear image. On the other hand, a mobile application must also maintain low quality of service in the face of abundant resources. So how should adaptation be supported? At one extreme, each application could find for itself trying to monitor resources and adapt appropriately. At the other extreme, applications might be blissfully ignorant, depending entirely on their host operating system. To perform adaptation, mobile middleware allows an application to make a middle ground for participating in the adaptation process. This makes writing individual applications far less tedious because an application developer need not reinvent the world every time he opens his systems. The adaptation middleware monitors resources or drawings on the policies determined by the user or by application developers to assist applications in modifying application expectations to match available resources. In adapting, a mobile application typically does not change its core behavior like a video player remains a video player, but instead takes its user down a slightly different road, like increasing or decreasing the fidelity of data stream delivered to the user. Next is agents. The mobile agents put the action where the data are, which allows the programs to move autonomously about a network in order to access remote resources. In a mobile agent system, the programs migrate directly to servers which gain access to the data or computational resources and potentially migrate again, eventually returning to their home base to deliver results. By allowing a program to migrate directly to the server to gain access to the data, several benefits are realized. The first is that the disconnected operation is easily supported. A mobile user can dispatch an agent or disconnect and then reconnect later to allow the agent to return home. Another benefit is that the agents can gain access to large amounts of data to solve a problem, even if a mobile user's network resources are scant. For example, a mobile agent might migrate to a server containing thousands of PDF documents, shift through the documents to build a bibliography, and then return home with the bibliography in the wallet. A third benefit is that mobile agent systems allows the functionality of servers to be expanded dynamically. A skeptic of mobile agents might argue that any task performed by the agents could also be performed using traditional client-server methods and can be corrected by inserting a new code into a server. For example, the creation of bibliography problem could be solved. However, such enhancements require that a server's code be modified every time and new enhancement is desired. This makes administration of server much more difficult. With agents, existing computing infrastructure can be used to solve problems not envisioned by the creators at the infrastructure. Service discovery. The service discovery middleware extends the client-server paradigm to include dynamic discovery of services and more dynamic interaction between clients and services. This type of middleware directly supports the extended client-server model which was discussed earlier. The service discovery is appropriate for both traditional wired networks and wireless networks, but is particularly exciting for mobile computing environments because it allows peripheral poor mobile devices to discover needed services on demand. For example, imagine a mobile user with a service discovery enabled personal digital assistant sitting in a coffee shop sipping a cup of coffee. The user is not familiar with the city he is visiting but decides to see a movie. So, his PDA dynamically discovers the Bluetooth access point attached to the ceiling of the shop, and using the Bluetooth service discovery protocol, he then uses a search engine on the web to locate a nearby movie theater and determines the show times. So this site has a map showing the location of the theater, so the user issues a print command to get a hard copy of the map and prints the document. A minute later, the server delivers a coffee refill and the printout. With the service discovery middleware, developers can quickly develop dynamic client-server systems which are self-healing and support plug and play for individual components. So the concepts embedded in the service discovery architecture are not completely new. However, the service discovery frameworks standardize the environments in which to deploy highly dynamic self-healing client-server architectures. Thank you all of you.